Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I like
that.
that. Oh,
Thank you.
Yes, that's awesome. Oh, thank
Anyway,
you.
that's not obligated to use them, but you have.
No, that's awesome. I appreciate it.
Hey, Jackie. How are you?
Toasty, toasty.
Oh man, it's so hot.
We did her at
Yeah.
that was the so
Okay.
and then national.
Cheers.
That's the first.
Well, it's for
Where'd you find this?
Jurassic Parliament.
I love that.
I got reminded of it at the conference.
Okay.
And so I went and I got one of these, and then I have a laminator at home. 'cause
Oh,
it's
cool.
Crafty.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And then this one I ordered and it came laminated. This one feels really
Do you think it's worth it?
Like I have.
I use it way more than I expected.
Okay.
I bought it for like one thing and I'm like, oh, I can laminate.
Make this. There's so many things I'm like, I wish I could laminate that. It's like, it's artwork. It's like when they bring it home, I'm like, okay, how do I protect this? Well, I had a laminator.
Or like if I'm making a sign for an event or something, like, oh, I can just laminate it real quick. And then it's like, I don't feel like they're even that.
I mean, I own a Cricut sewing machine, so much of other
See,
stuff.
yeah,
So.
if you want to pick it, you can have laminate.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like,
That justifies that expense.
anyway, this was like $10 or
Nice.
something.
Okay, that's not bad.
I recommend checking it out, but all these other ones were free to print.
Cool.
But I thought some of these felt like if if like we're seeing something we can see point of order, and then these are the like you know, I feel like there's been a couple meetings where this would have been helpful. And then some of them like so this set shares like what things need a second
Okay.
if it's debatable. And so like some things the chair can rule on, so like point of order, I think, or something, but you can appeal. Like if you don't agree with the decision the chair made on a point of order, then you don't need a second. Or you do need a second. So I like it.
Yeah.
You know.
So it was like, it's way inappropriate.
Yeah, because it's our meeting, and if the chair doesn't agree with someone being out of line, that's okay.
So.
Anyway.
Okay.
I'll
see what I need.
Jurassic Parliament. Also dinosaurs. This is
I know.
Like,
I'm like,
this is like your two worlds combined.
I know. Old archaic stuff.
Yeah.
Mike asked me to tell you that he is at the office on some of that stuff, so whoever's responding to your stuff or what.
Okay. You know when he'll be.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
He's going on FMLA, so he'll be.
Well, hope it's never a good thing, but I hope we can get through whatever it is. Yeah. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah. You know, Elsa said he was going to be out this week, but yeah, that's more helpful.
How much is it? It's gonna rain. I've looked at it.
That was for another call.
5 years out. That's what I'm so we didn't do that. Oh, yeah, great. We're doing song. Fill his big boots. That's happened at the other end. So I went to the part where the tennis. Yeah. After I did these. No, it's like 7. But it's still. Yeah. That's what I figured. I hear your thought, okay. I'm Fourth of July. Wait, he didn't, he keep their. Steve for 2 hours. That run, are there, said that we were. All the. What? For
Are you gonna make it to the general government next week?
I should be able to take it on Tuesday, right? Work is so.
I know, that's why I was asking, like. I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about, so
Okay.
if you weren't gonna be able to make it, or if something comes up, just trying to adjust it.
Yeah, I mean, at worst, I just have to join via conference call. But, I don't see why I can't just work remotely that day and then just wait for that for one day.
You make the water tour tomorrow, or Thursday?
Yes. Yeah, Thursday, no problem. Tomorrow I work on campus.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for reminding me too, because I knew that it was coming up. I was like, I know it's coming up and I'm pretty sure I said either a Thursday or a Friday, so I'm confident it's gonna be one of those days.
Yeah. Thursday.
people, they all do. Yeah. Go do it for.
I'm kind of glad it got rescheduled,
Yeah.
given the water well thing that happened. So.
Yeah, I'm glad that we were able to get that, like, remedied fairly quickly, though. That's really good. Promising. How's it going?
Good. It's round.
Missed your email. Yeah, I just typed it out.
Okay, so I did a presentation, so we'll just pause and you can.
Just at the end or whatever, I'll just. Don't mind that. Are you reading them or is everybody reading?
I'm assuming everybody's gonna go through their.
Perfect.
Okay.
Who's gonna read Ed's?
Probably.
Makes sense.
You're welcome. How are you today? I'm good. How are you? Good.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hey Ben, am I supposed to be in Public Works? Because I got an email, but I thought that it was rearranged for Shelley and
You're the alternate.
I know.
Is Mark out of town?
I don't know, because the last email I got was it was getting moved.
The Thursday at 6:30.
So everybody who's originally on it could be attending.
I thought Mark said, we'll see if he's here tonight.
Okay. Oh, he's out.
Yeah, it's out the hall.
Is that that month?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the one.
Yeah.
Roasting hosting.
We moved it to that day because we thought he could be.
He could be there. Okay, now I'm tracking why I'm on the email. Okay.
So can you make that at 6:30?
I-
6:30.
I'm an early riser. I'm fine. I'm up at 5, but
Right.
I just have to get my children ready.
Normally it's 7.
Okay. I'm glad I
I'm not
asked,
even
because
gonna-
I was not gonna come because I thought I was accidentally on the email, so.
But I could just knock it out and move on with the rest of my work day instead of having to take chunks out of work day.
Oh, I love early. I get up every morning and work
Yeah.
until my kids get up.
Yeah.
And then
It is literally the only time where I have like some peace and quiet. I get to drink my cup of coffee without interruptions. Like I don't go sit on my back porch at like
Same.
7 o'clock in the morning.
Same. That's literally what I do. That's why I get up so early. So I can have an hour to or 2 hours to myself.
I totally understand.
Oh, I know. Especially now that my children stay late. So they go to bed when I go to bed. And I'm like, now I have no time.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I'm getting up early. Oh, but getting them out by 6:30. That's true. Well, actually, they don't have yellow, but my one's gonna have cabbage.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it's with Philly.
Have a, the
Yeah,
youngest
yeah.
three have been going to daycare in the summer, like Ozzy's hanging out at the house with Kyle's all day.
Nice.
Wow. There'll be 3 at the end of
Yeah.
next month.
Yes, we just didn't have a chance.
Now, he has to pick his clothes,
We'll get it.
and if he doesn't pick his clothes, he will not get dressed, and he will take the clothes and put you on him, so he has to dress himself.
Is Councilmember Postuma, Shelley, is Councilmember Postuma here?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yep, that's my girl dressed as
We'll get there.
Actually, I was like, yeah, you take them, because I don't want them judging.
Okay. Oh, great.
My kid's
That'll be good.
pajama shirt and
For real.
Some nice stuff here.
I remember that when my girls really went through. Gosh,
computer.
for me.
Yeah, what is my update?
No.
I don't have, no.
We really can't start with that.
I know.
It'll be fine. I'm trying to remember what my update was.
He just turned 4, and now all of a sudden he's just like, no, I don't do that anymore. Like, no, 4-year-old, don't do that. I'm like, oh, okay.
My, yeah,
Sure.
it was fun.
I don't see
What was my report? He wants to be a baby forever. I think you know what I mean.
So, it's fun. Right.
I have something to do. Sometimes I'm like, oh,
I had emails last night.
what
else do I want you to go?
There's times when I'm really happy that Zach was living at home. I'm like, oh, I could, we can. How are you?
It's just like, I was college, and there's times where I'm like, okay, but doesn't this like drive you insane now? I see your phone. So,
Only like 19.
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
moved to you.
yeah.
almost like in no rush. Just
I
like,
tell my kids all the time, you know, you can take her away
Oh,
from
no,
her
sorry.
and work, as long as you're working. But, I don't know. I think in my mind, everything's so expensive. Compared to one another, but then I'm also like, I mean, it is expensive.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we see, it's like, okay, this is.
Saw them another minute. Like Councilmember Postuma.
You're not, I don't want. Let's do that. That would be. That would be in the door.
I mean, he does have some technical difficulties sometimes, so.
Yeah.
Super. This might be his thing. That's okay. We'll start without him. We'll call our regular city council meeting to order at 6 p.m. Will you all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Here.
Councilmember Han,
Here.
Councilmember Bartels,
Here.
Councilmember Postma,
He's having some technical difficulties, but he will try to be online.
Councilmember.
Here.
Councilmember Nazaro.
Here.
Councilmember Seelock.
Here.
And Councilmember.
Here.
Great. At this point, if Councilmember Postuma logs in, you'll note it. At this point, it is public comment. I want to read some email comments that were received since our last regular city council meeting. And then we will take public comment in person and then proceed to those online. First, from Citizen Height, I received an email regarding the comprehensive plan. From Citizen DeLucci, 2 emails, one regarding a noise ordinance and one regarding police department microgrants. From Citizen Boxstruct, 1 email about police staffing. From Citizen Coons, Citizen Gonzalez, Citizen Riddle, Citizen Velas, Citizen Rusinoff, and Citizen Ju Yun, in favor of fluoride sports. So that will bring us to our in-person citizen comments. And the first one, in fact, the only one we have signed up is Dr. Riddle. So if you'll come to the microphone, state your name and your address for the record. We have 2 minutes on the timer.
Good.
You
Should
may
be.
begin.
My name is Jake Riddle. My house address is 10022 West Jensen Road. My office is 1717 First Street in Cheney. So, local dentist in town, just wanted to kind of bring to attention how important I think it is to keep fluoride in the water. Early in my career, I worked at a pediatric office and we saw many kids, and over time you would see the correlation between decay rate, cavities on areas that were fluoridated versus weren't. And that was, I mean, just seeing it firsthand. Fluoride has been proven to help strengthen enamel, prevent cavities, and just study after study will show that. It's actually one of the most studied minerals and kind of health prevention in the United States. It's been studied for like 85 years. So, and kind of unfortunately, there's a lot of kids that just do not have access to care. And that's kind of the biggest thing. It's not so much the ones that come, it's the ones that have no access. They can't be seen. The parents don't take them. They just have. So really their only protection is public water. And that's, if you eliminate that, they will just not have that. Not to, that they can't get this, they just don't go. So that's probably one of the main things. So, well, not to bore you with all the studies, if anybody needs more information or wants to have a meeting, anything like, I'm happy to do it, you know, and I can get you whatever information, but just wanted to give my kind of my 2 cents and just let you guys know, if you guys need anything, just let me know. I'd be happy to kind of go more, but thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments online?
Nobody that.
We have a Jennifer. that wants to speak.
Okay. Jennifer, are you online?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
I can. Jennifer, will you state your name and address for the record, and a reminder that we have a 2-minute time limit? You may
Yes.
begin.
Yes, my name is Jennifer Franzik. My address is 905 Golden Hills here in Cheney. 2 quick little things that I'd like to mention. One is the movement of the STA buses onto Golden Hills Drive due to the work on the roundabout. We've talked to someone in the city about this before, and it was my understanding they were going to try to stop that. It is creating excessive traffic on Golden Hills when we have families with little ones. They're pushing 3-4 buses an hour through. It's loud. They're going faster than the posted speed limit often at times. It just would be safer if they were moved to the arterial over on Simpson Parkway. And I would ask that the council really look at getting them off of the residential road and move them somewhere else where it's safer. The second point that I'd like to bring up or ask the council to really look at is the fire hazard of the weeds behind Golden Hills onto that new development. There are an excessive amount of weeds that have popped up, and it is an extreme fire hazard. We have verbally talked to somebody with the city. We have submitted a form online, and nothing is being done. And with the dry, hot weather, we are very concerned about fire hazard. So just bringing that up to the city so they're aware. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else online? Okay. This will close our public comment period. So we will move to our we'll move to our minutes from our June 23rd regular city council meeting. Have you had a chance to review those?
Mayor, if there are no modifications to the meeting minutes for June 23rd, I'd move approval.
Second. A motion and a second to approve meeting minutes from June 23rd. Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, great. Our next item of business is vouchers and payroll. Mr. Ross?
Hi, yes. We had vouchers of $660,414.58 and payroll of $652,405.22.
Mayor, the finance committee has reviewed the vouchers and payroll as presented. I'd make a motion for approval.
Second. There's a motion and a second to approve vouchers and payroll as listed. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Sorry, there's always a delay on council. Perfect. Which brings us to our informational item first is Feed Cheney. Come on up.
Hello, Mayor Martin and City Council. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Grace Klingenberg. If you were not at the last meeting, or if you were at the last meeting, this probably is deja vu because yeah, another Klingenberg is talking about feeding Cheney. But I serve on the executive board of Feed Cheney, and I have been involved in Feed Cheney since 2021, although the organization has been serving our community since 2009. I first joined Feed Cheney because I was in search of a community service project for my FFA state degree. After my very first meal service, I fell in love with the organization's mission. It's to serve people, no questions asked, with dignity and respect. I fell in love with helping and serving as time went on. Every time I show up, I get a new experience that makes me want to keep coming back. And I think that's what everybody experiences when they come. Every month, you have people from all walks of life come together around the same tables. College students volunteer along retirees. High school students serve meals to veterans. Families sit next to people they have never met before and become friends. For an hour each month, labels disappear and everyone is simply a neighbor sharing a meal. Feed Cheney provides a hot meal of the last Monday of every month. Along with dinner, we connect our guests with valued community resources. Over the years, organizations have provided information on energy assistance, free flu shots, vision and hearing screenings, and other services that help improve the well-being of our community members. At the end of 2022, after nearly 2 years of volunteering, one of the founding members told me that Feed Cheney would be shutting down due to funding and other financial resources that had to come to an end. I was truly heartbroken. Every month, Feed Cheney serves between 60 and 80 people. While many people think of us as just a meal program, we are so much more than that. We are a place where people know they will be welcomed. We have widows that come each month because it gives them someone to talk to. We have individuals who live alone that look forward to seeing familiar faces. And we have volunteers who return month after month because they know they are making a difference, not just by serving food, but building different relationships. I couldn't let Feed Cheney disappear, so I asked the board to give me 1 week before making any announcements to any volunteers or people that come each month. And I promised to come back with a plan. The very next day, my FFA officer team and I sat down to brainstorm solutions. 1 week later, I met with the Feed Cheney's executive board and the advisor of the Cheney High School's Culinary Arts Club. That meeting changed everything because together we created a partnership that still exists today. The culinary arts student prepared the meals and FFA members served them, and community volunteers continued to make this event possible. Because of that collaboration, Feed Cheney has continued serving communities without interruptions. In 2024, my senior year, my FFA officer team and I were awarded the Commissioner's Choice Youth Award by the Chase Youth Award organizations for our dedication to this specific community service project. Although we no longer send groceries home with families like we did from 2009 to 2022, the Cheney cupboard now distributes groceries the same evening and a few other Mondays and Wednesdays, ensuring families still have access to food assistance. Each month, we continue to serve 60 to 80 people, and every person involved is a volunteer. Eastern students, local church members, high school students, all come together each month to make this event possible. Dinner is served from 5:30 to about 6:30, and from September through May, we serve restaurant-style meals at the Ren Pearson Community Center. During June through August, we serve sack dinners at Veterans Park, picnic style. Both are accompanied with community resources. When I think about Feed Cheney, I don't just think about the meals we've served. I think about the conversations, the laughter, the friendship, and the people who know they have a place where they belong. In a world where it's so easy to feel isolated, Feed Cheney reminds us what community is supposed to look like. Neighbors caring for neighbors. I'd like to personally invite each of you to come have dinner sometime, meet the people we serve, and experience a sense of community that keeps so many coming back each month. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions?
When's the next dinner?
So our next SAC dinner is that's the one served in Veterans Park, will be the 27th of this month. And then in August, we start our hot meals again at the Ren Pearson Center, and that will be the 31st, August 31st.
Cool. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Very much. All right, our next informational item is from council members who attended the AWC conference, which was just a couple weeks ago. I think it was only 2 weeks ago. So
It's like forever. Yeah.
these are some of the AWC stands for Association of Washington Cities. They represent every city in the state. It is a very useful association. They provide a lot of education to elected officials and to city administration and city clerks and things like that. So it was a full week of a lot of learning. So let's see, what's the next slide? Who gets to go first?
Yeah, so this is these are notes from just one of the sessions I went to. I'm not going to read line by line here, but we were it was the mayor of Pullman and Chelan, and then somebody representing the Heart and Soul group, which we have one of those here in Cheney. But it was just a good session on interfacing with your community, helping drive. We're working on our comp plan now, but there's kind of this other side of it of really, really getting the community involved, because a lot of our community tends to not give input unless things aren't going so good. And so that was kind of what this was geared towards. It's like, hey, let's take a good thing and keep making it better. So yeah, it was a really informational session, and I took a lot from it. I think our Heart and Soul group will be valuable going forward. So hoping to make a better connection with them.
And to piggyback on that, if you haven't seen them around at some local businesses, there are Heart and Soul surveys available. So if you haven't seen those, you need to get to the library or the Mason jar, or I think there's some even at the pool, and fill out one of those surveys. Councilmember Long.
Yeah, so let's see. So this was a fantastic conference, my first time attending. I went to a pre-conference short course on local planning, and got, since we're doing the comp plan, trying to really make sure I understand all of that. I did it online earlier this year, and in person was definitely sinks in better, So I'm really glad I got to do that. Got a refresher on the OPMA, public meetings and public records, in a couple different sessions. And so that was really helpful. And then I took a ton of finance and budgeting questions, because municipal finance is weird, is what I've learned. And there's a lot to it. And so I was trying to grab all of those sessions, just to start educating myself. And I think my main takeaway from that was that I have a lot more to learn. So kudos to you, James, for being in that role. Might have more questions for you as a follow-up from that. Kind of in that same vein, with funding, I went and I took some sessions on like state and local tax policy and like different ways for funding projects, like with grants, and just to kind of get my head around how some of that all works. So that was really helpful. I really enjoyed the keynote. Doug Griffiths, who wrote the 13 Ways to Kill Your Community. I actually thought it was going to be a downer of a session based on the title. But it was actually super informative, and he was a great speaker. Walked through all these different things that are really important to like make sure you don't do, so that you can make sure your community is being successful and thriving. So I thought that was really good. And I had a couple quotes that I had written down in my notebook from it about how we're not great because we're perfect. We're great because we're unique, versus like trying to be like, oh, Leavenworth is cool, and they are. But like, we don't want to be another Leavenworth. We don't want to be another anybody. We have our own unique things here that we should lean into, that are unique. And so those are our own assets that we should continue to like, foster, I guess. And then I really like the quote of, "You're responsible for making your community better." I love quotes like that, because it just really helps taking ownership of it. Like, we shouldn't sit back and just complain. And so like, I know we're all on council, you know, up here and elected or in official roles. But I think this is true for everybody. If you're in the community, there's always different things you can do, you know, public comment, different things to give back and make your community better. So I really like that. I learned what a youth commission is. So we have that on our books and I had no idea what it was until this conference. And so I took a bunch of notes and I have some meetings that will be coming to try and see if we can revive ours at some point in the future. Because I think there's a lot of value in getting our youth plugged in. And there's other cities that are doing a really amazing job with that. And I think we could take some lessons learned from them. So yeah, so that's kind of one of those things kind of coming. And then I had the honor of getting to carry our flag in the parade of flags. And so I thought that was really cool. Just want to, yeah, I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Councilmember Bealock. Alrighty. So yeah, it was my first time attending as well. It was a lot of fun. One of my big key takeaways was all the networking. It was just getting to meet other people that are doing similar work in other parts of the state, especially in parts of the state that we think might be very different from us over here, but we all face similar problems. So seeing how they're facing and solving those problems was really cool. One of the ones I attended was it was just the basics on city debt. My big takeaways from that weren't necessarily how debt works, but how we should be framing it when we're talking to the community. So recently we had to go out for the bonds for the pool and that sort of stuff. So making sure that we're, you know, wording things in a way that people can understand and are giving them a clearer picture and maybe are removing some of the scary, like big words. Not big words, like big words are scary, but you know, sometimes most people don't like. All right. So yeah, so just because we have the capacity to take on debt doesn't mean that we can afford it. Your debt capacity is assessed on a yearly basis. And so, but each year things can fluctuate. So that was another key takeaway from that. The other thing was AI. A lot of the sessions that I attended had some component of AI to them. And the big key takeaways for that were that there are other municipalities and other state agencies that are working on this. And so we should be looking to their policies as examples that we could use to maybe cater and tailor to our specific needs here in Cheney. But there's already people doing the groundwork, so no need to reinvent the wheel. We should just be tapping into the people that have the expertise and experience doing that. The meeting people where they are, that was probably my favorite one that I attended. It was presented by Poulsbo and Gig Harbor and the city of Raymond. These are all over the west side, but they're all comparable in size to Cheney. I didn't realize that Poulsbo and Gig Harbor were only like 13,000 people. So what was cool was they have a human and health and housing services department that they developed within their city. They used a lot of their opioid settlement funds to help get that launched. And then they support it through other grant funding, but it's a single place where the citizens can come to for the various resources. So the things like we're providing already at the courthouse, through access to like the hygiene, backpacks, bus passes, that sort of stuff, the things that the police are offering, first responders are offering. We have so many different people in the city doing aspects of this work that we could have it housed under one agency where it's a social worker who really focuses on that task and then taps into the different resources in the region. They're not building shelters necessarily in these places, but they're connecting people with the resources because we have issues here with housing stability and income, stability, and that does impact people. And if we just pretend that it doesn't exist and we just keep turning a blind eye to it, it's going to fester and get worse. But if we have these resources that we're already utilizing and we have them in a central location managed by somebody who this is their specialty, it was just really neat to see that these smaller cities were able to turn such limited funds into such an impactful agency. So I thought that was really cool. And I thought it was really neat that it was like, wait, I'm listening to this. I'm like, we already kind of do some of this. So we could definitely take the model of these other cities are doing and find a way of bringing that to Cheney as well. Let's see. Public safety funding. So this one was really interesting. There was a big funding pool. It's like $100 million grant funding pool that is available to police departments in the state. But one of the things is you have to be accredited and there's a bunch of other hoops that you have to go through. It is arduous, but everybody there said it was worth it. Cleellum recently had to file for bankruptcy for something unrelated to police. But as a result of it, they didn't have money to do a lot of the basic things that they needed to do in their city. So they were able to tap into this grant to help fund a large portion of their police force. so they didn't lose their level of service while they're still having to pay off that legal obligation. So that was one of the things that I thought was really interesting, was that that city really benefited from having this. And then East Wenatchee, they got a bunch of money to help update their police force and stuff like that. So it's quite a big lift, but the payoff is worth that lift. I went to things on indigent defense, so that's like public defenders. And the big key takeaway from that was that the court and the legal representation, those budgets need to stay separate, but we also need to be investing in all parts of the criminal justice system. So investments in police create more work for the courts, so we have to invest in the courts as well. That creates more work for the lawyers, have to invest. So it's a whole ecosystem. And that was a really neat framework of looking at it. Instead of looking at funding each individual bucket, it's framing it as an entire system. Coffee with counsel, that was basically just, you could ask questions of these city attorneys. They weren't our city attorneys, but they are a city attorney. And the big AI was a hot topic at AWC, and how municipalities are handling the different areas of AI. So of all the different questions that were asked of those city attorneys, really looking to AI policy and making sure our stuff is shorn up is really, that was my big key take on that. And then, oh yeah, so after that title's wrong, the SB stuff, that's all about flock cameras. So it was all about post 6002. So what do we do now that the state has all these regulations around flock? And it just really went through all the steps that you need to go through with registering with the AG's office, retention of data, as well as retention of audit trails. So that's very different from how long we get to keep the information. But that was really informative, and just, it was really interesting to hear how other municipalities have handled their relationship with flock. So that was it.
Oh, thank you. Councilmember LeBar.
I don't have a slide in here. I got to it late.
Oh.
Do I? I didn't see it.
Oh, quick.
Just kidding. Okay. Didn't see it in the thing. Yeah, I wasn't able to attend as much as AWC as I would have liked because of work, but I did make it to some. And one of the ones I went to with Councilmember Long was about the Citizen Academy that they do in Tri-Cities, or Pasco and Richland, I don't know, two of the cities. I thought it was really interesting. It's getting citizens involved. It's a multi-week course. And basically the citizens get to really understand like how things work. Like they take them on field trips to like the wastewater treatment plant and all that. And they only take a certain amount of citizens at a time. But how I looked at it is like, I know sometimes with like water, like there's just all these questions people have or assumptions they make. And so having citizens come to learn about it and then being able to kind of disseminate that information because they've seen it firsthand, I thought was really cool. And then the other thing they do there is they have a public safety academy, which I also thought was very interesting. You know, we need full staffing for sure, but they have different, it was not just like Richland Police, they had, you know, the sheriff's department. So they had all these different departments come, but they teach them, and the people who come to the public safety academy, I think they take 30 people max, but basically they have to go through like psychological evaluation. Like there's certain things they have to do, but they kind of get firsthand training in what our public safety does. And I thought, again, very interesting. I think their course is like 10 sessions of 3 hours. So it was pretty intense, but it's very interesting. So I thought it was, again, a great way to get citizens involved in how the city works. So and then Liberty Lake spoke a lot about building transparency and trust and how they're doing that. And so there was a lot in that presentation. I don't remember all of it without looking at my notes, but they do send out surveys and stuff and watching their, and that's kind of how they gauge if they're doing things well or not. And I just thought it was a really great way to get community feedback. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ed is not here, so I'll do my best to summarize. There were a number of very useful, I guess we'll call them sessions, legislative priorities. So he came back with the it was already on his radar to create our 2027 legislative agenda, but with the tools to do that, and to also things that we should consider. The road usage charge that was presented by a state representative and the potential ways that that could impact us. And then the short course on local planning, I think was that the same one that you went to also. So we don't have to rehash that. But then, like a couple of people have said, the networking to learn how other cities are doing things is always so key at conferences like this. Chances to Administrator Meese is new, so it provided him really great chances to meet people, and Liberty Lake to Deer Park to everywhere in between in our area to be able to meet them. Similarly, to meet fellow college town administrators in Ellensburg and in Pullman. So if nothing else, it was worth it for him to meet people that he's going to interact with frequently. So there's our council members who were able to attend. Thanks all of them. And Councilmember Bartels.
I didn't get my.
That's okay. That's okay. So let's hear it.
All right, I got four quick sessions. I also went to city debt basics. We talked a little bit about this at finance today. There's a bond attorney who presented this, but some of these, I guess, takeaways were rolling into the finance committee, but our debt capacity is only 2.5% of our assessed value. Cheney is a pretty unique situation because we don't get the assessed value of Eastern. So that was something that struck a chord. We should know where our city cash flow is. That's something we talked about today. And then there are bonds that exist for economic development purposes. News to me. So that was the takeaway. The second session was Connect Communities. There was actually 4 presenters, and one was our very own mayor who did a tremendous job. So kudos. One of my quick little takeaways was they talked about Starlink and how Starlink could be a pretty good emergency backup for SCADA. I'm not sure if we're doing that right now or if that's something that we could or should look into. The next session was on housing policies and practices. They talked a little bit about transit oriented developments. We're seeing that also in our comp plan. They're not just park and rides. I would say that the new pub shelter is kind of a TOD, but for us, I think a good spot for a TOD might be across from the library. I think that could potentially revitalize downtown, bring more people to the library and get more people access to downtown. This panel was, I think, 5 different city members. One of them was from Walla Walla. They talked a little bit about the multifamily tax exemption. So that's an MFTE. And they have terms that are 8 to 12 years long. It was very successful in Walla Walla, but it encouraged both redevelopment and infill, which are both key principles in our comp plan update. And then the last one, and Councilmember Beelock hit this too. There was a lot about AI in the attorney session, talked to the attorneys. The 2 takeaways I had was anything that, and these are probably more directed at Shelley, anything that goes into AI is a public record. So the chat bots, unfortunately, and maybe the police department sees some of that stuff too. And then lastly, both the attorneys kind of said, look, we strongly discourage council members from hosting a Facebook page because it could be very costly and a nightmare in public systems. So I hope that doesn't happen. That's it.
Thank you. Yeah, there, as you heard, AI was a focus. So it was already a focus for our administration, but it will continue to be a focus for our administration, developing policies that use AI wisely and protect our city and our citizens. So thank you, those who attended, and hopefully that felt like you got a little bit of some of that. Councilmember Postuma and Councilmember Hahn were unavailable, but hopefully you got a little bit more, and then obviously follow up with all your questions to those who attended. We will move to item J, our first resolution, which is our therapeutic court grant. We have some special guests to present that. This is resolution F503. And because I don't think everyone has met you, will you introduce yourselves?
Of course. Honorable Mayor, City Council, I'm Cody Meekus. I'm the Therapeutic Court Coordinator for the Cheney Municipal Court. So I oversee the diversion programs for the court.
And I'm the therapeutic court case manager. For the therapeutic court, I oversee our participants.
We are here today to ask for the council's acceptance of the Washington State Therapeutic Court Grant from the Administrative Office of the Courts. This grant is $219,230.88. It supports the operations of our therapeutic court. This allows us to assist defendants who are eligible, who are suffering with substance use, mental health concerns, and other needs. It allows us to fund some of their treatment needs as well as some of the supports in recovery. These include things like our Bus Pass program and similar programs that help our participants be successful and hopefully resolve their court issues and continue to contribute to the city here.
Yeah, I just want to add that I think the program has a lot of value for the city. It's really easy to support it because all of the statistics show that we save money, but really the best part is seeing people turn that corner in their own lives. They become healthier, happier versions of themselves. And I think it's difficult to quantify what that adds to Cheney when community members are moving to a place where they're bringing something to the community like that.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Again, this is a grant that we have received, and the state cut down their awards on that, but they actually gave us more than they told us they were going to. And I think that's because of the success that you and your team have done in the past executing the grant. So way to go. So with that, I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve resolution F503. Those in favor?
Aye.
Is Councilmember Postuma still on? Those opposed? Motion carries. Resolution F503 passes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. The next resolution is F504, our Purple Pipe Project change order regarding fencing. Mr.
Yes, good
Ferguson.
evening. Well, the good news is probably the last change order I'm gonna come ask for. This project is 99.9% wrapped up. Testing is going on with the controls, but aside from getting a permit and putting water on the ground, we're getting pretty darn close. So resolution F504 is change order proposal 14 for Clearwater Construction. During the design phase of the purple pipe distribution system, we recognize that we're going to have vaults, control structures, and above ground backflow prevention devices located in the schools, parks, and playfield area. We didn't have any idea what the configuration of those would be, so we didn't ask for a bid at that time for fencing of these structures for safety. Now that they're laid out, we had both Clearwater and DW give us a bid. Clearwater was a better choice, cheaper bid both. So we're asking to the fund $68,816.22 plus tax and the contingency on this project to put 6-foot chain link fence around all the control structures with gates in order to access them for removal of equipment out of vaults with crane. And yeah, so if there's any questions, I'd take them.
Are there any questions, Councilmember Long?
Yeah, so I guess, the purple pipe, these are just talking about the things that are sticking out that are purple.
Yeah, the control structures above ground.
So they have the chain, like padlock between the two big, I'm not a
valves.
Right, thanks. So what is the fence protecting? Is like there's other little knobs? Is that kind of the concern?
Yeah, it's an attractive nuisance to begin with all those structures for people to crawl on, especially kids. We don't want that to happen. The control valves that go above the ground with the big valves that are chained. The chain prevents somebody from opening or closing those valves, changing the status of the valves. The more concern are the small valves you see on there with the brass backflow device and flow meter there. Those could be opened anytime. There can be high pressure devices. So if a child were to open that, stand in front of it, hit them in the eye, they'd take their eye out, it could cause serious injury. So the need to isolate the potential is what we're trying to do with the fencing. Keep people safe. It's a jungle gym. We don't need jungled.
Thank you. Yes, Councilman.
Yes, we did discuss this at Public Works. We kind of knew this was coming. I knew you, Dan wanted to secure the bids from the folks. But I do think this is a good safety project. It's obviously affecting the parks and the elementary school. I would move approval for F504.
Second.
There's a motion and a second for approval of resolution F504. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
I didn't wait that time. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. That brings us to our staff reports for today. And who's first? Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be. Okay. I sure will do my best. Oh, yes. I forgot about that. Okay, so our meaningful engagement, I'm just gonna read the heading. Meaningful engagement and comment to Spokane County. We've been working full speed ahead on our comprehensive plan, and with the county, they are currently working on their urban growth area analysis and their plan there. So we've been, like I said, full speed ahead working with the county on that. And last week sent them a letter advocating for the urban growth area that we currently have that is developable, that they are wishing to reallocate. So we're advocating hard for Cheney's UGA right now. And we are also thoroughly in the throes of working our Cheney comprehensive plan. The planning commission met last night, and the goal is for planning commission to work through that so that when it comes to council, you have as much time and a good platform to look at and review with some time enough to do that before the year's end. We also had a meeting with the Aquifer Protection Area. That is on the ballot coming up. Well, whenever they send, I think it's this week, we should be receiving our ballots. Yeah. So that is on the ballot. That meeting was with Spokane County, City of Airway Heights, City of Medical Lake to provide education on that vote. There is some information from the county on that. It is a little bit hard to find on their website. So that came out of that meeting, was that we need more information to educate citizens about that. There's a lot of questions still on what that APA will look like. The county's approach is to determine that if it passes, rather than spend the time delineating what that would look like beforehand. Does he have another slide? Yeah. Our recreation access grant program, our Parks and Rec might talk about that, but that is, I think you're submitting that today or tomorrow. And then we are beginning CBA negotiations with ASME-C. We are also working on city council rules with general government committee and Councilmember Long, and we will hopefully at our next meeting either implement those or at least present them to you for review. And I want to give a big shout out to our Public Works Department for their work on well number 3. Dan will probably give us a little more info on that in a few minutes. And then along with that, a kudos to Ms. Snyder, our administrative assistant in the mayor's office, for the communication with that and with local media in the community, and a lot of, we all learned a lot of things during that communication. So kudos to those two teams as well. Community court, back to you, Cody. Thank you.
Mayor, just a really quick comment. I would hope on the council rules, those get circulated to all the subcommittees.
Yes, they will. Yep. Thank you. Go ahead, Cody.
Honorable Mayor, City Council, hello again. We'd like to give a brief update for the court department update on our community court program as we stand today. We're happy to say that we currently have 13 participants, so we're kind of right around where we've typically been. Our goal over the next year or so is we're hoping to see that grow to around 18. We are focusing on maintaining fidelity to the treatment court model though, so we do have to kind of manage those two factors. We did have 2 graduations we were hoping to be able to have this Friday. However, we did have a trial come up. The trial has now been rescheduled, so there's been a bit of a shuffle. We're hoping to be able to celebrate those graduations on the 6th of August. That will be at the 3:30 Therapeutic Court docket. We'd love to invite all of you to attend that if you are able to. Of our 2 graduates, one of them is celebrating over 6 months sobriety now. That is the longest sober period that particular participant has had in well over a decade. So it's been really rewarding seeing him progress that turner, as Beth had said. We will also be looking at hosting a community stakeholder meeting that will probably occur in September. We'll be providing more information on that as we get closer and are able to get that scheduled around time that works for both city staff as well as our community partners. Lastly, our team will be traveling next week. We're attending the National Association of Drug Court Professionals, or All Rise conference. And so we will be out of town next week and hopefully attending some valuable trainings and finding some things to bring back and implement into our programs. I don't know if there's any questions.
Any questions? Thank you. Mr. Rouse.
Good evening. So our financials are filed with the SAO. A little late, but we finally got them done. And we have already begun our audit. We actually had a call with our auditors today, and we've received a PBC list, which we've already started sending them back the required information that they're asking for, and they will be arriving here in just about 2 weeks, the beginning of August, to conduct their audit. They'll be done by the end of August, being in-house, and then they'll finish filing, and that'll all take place through September. So that now frees me up to actually get back to many of you council members that have reached out to me for some meetings. It also moves me into my next phase with what I'm calling my tour of the departments. So I'm going to be running around to the department heads and meeting all the teams and getting information, assessing all their needs, how they communicate with us, what kinds of systems. That's another big thing on my plate too, is our accounting systems, as well as our technology systems, and how they function, how they operate, how we can improve them, how we need to fix them. But without having the information of how all the various teams work and how they need to function and how they need to communicate with City Hall, we can't really effectively do anything unless we have all that information. So I'm planning on doing all that and working with the teams. I'll be bringing my team in along the way to do all this stuff and get things ready. And then as we move forward, and as I've kind of had to jump in feet first, head first, whatever, into this, I will be working on coming up with proper financial reporting for this council and the city and the mayor. That will happen on a monthly basis, but give me a little bit of time to come out. I'm only 2 days out of getting everything filed, but there will be some good reporting that people can understand where our funds are at, how much we spent against our budgets, even department level spending, cash flow, debt analysis. We'll be coming up with different things to report on each and every period.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Any questions?
Great, thanks.
Great.
Chief Jenkins is not here because he's on state mob for a fire, and I will talk for him. This picture is of District 3 and Cheney Fire Department Academy graduation. There were 5 new firefighters who went through the academy. It was a 16-week program. and they graduated a couple weeks ago, and they've jumped in. They're on shift, and you'll have a chance to meet them for the next few weeks. So, District 3 had 2, and we had 3. Firefighter Bentley, Holmquist, and Van Duzer. So, thank you. HR.
I just wanted to provide a quick staffing update as we continue to have a fair amount of turnover in our full-time staff. It's keeping me pretty busy. So we do have a pending fire intern that is done through contract through the military. So I'm not certain when Chief Jenkins intended to start that person, but that is occurring. And then I have had an HR intern since September, but while she was in college, we just had her on some small projects. Well, they were large projects, but she was really project focused. And now that she has graduated from Eastern, I am focusing on training her on as many aspects of HR as she can handle in her part-time schedule. We did hire the building inspector and code enforcement officer, and that person started with us on July 1st. Our utility specialist, which was a replacement for Karen Gemmel down at the UB, Valerie Marsh, started on Monday. Our new light department director, Steve Schulte, will begin with us on August 3rd, coming from Inland. I didn't have it on the slide today, but I did onboard with 2 new police officers today who started today. And then we are currently hiring our fall part-timers for our before and after school program and all of the other things. Thank you. Oh, one question. So are we fully staffed on the police department or is there more?
No,
hiring?
we have another one. When is your next person going to start? Next week? 2 weeks?
Yeah, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll have another one start.
And then we have one additional vacancy. Do you have a vacancy or you have 2?
2.
And then,
Okay, yeah, no, so no.
Okay.
We are not.
okay. Thank you.
Let's see, I can do this. H-I-J-K. I don't know who's next. Light. Oh, yes. Light. Director Schulte begins the beginning of August. His name is also Steve, so this makes it 3 in a row that we've had a light director who's named Steve. So hopefully that helps us with who we're talking to. We had some outages on July 5th, and our light department team, Travis is the lead for that. They rocked it. They responded quickly. And then, of course, we had our Cheney Rodeo banner on First Street that we were able to put up through our light department as well. Okay, now it's parks.
Hello, Mayor and Council. So some fun Parks and Recreation activities over the last few weeks and into this upcoming week. 4th of July, we had a local family sponsor the day for up to 800 people and purchase food for up to 800 people. And it was really an awesome activity. They said they'd like to do it again next year, and we hope to build on it and maybe add some entertainment, some other things, but it was a great 4th of July event. We started concerts in the park last Wednesday at Sutton Park and movies in the park last Friday at Sutton Park, and those will go for the next 4 weeks on Wednesdays and Friday. We had our first Cheney Aquatic Center swim meet last Friday, and we had 74 kids enter the swim meet, which was amazing. So I think 63 of them or so were from somewhere outside of Cheney, so lots of families came in on last Friday. Tonight is our first adult aquatic center night. People have been saying we want to have adults, no kids, so we're trying it out tonight. We'll see if everybody shows up. But and then this Friday is a sponsored swim night by a local family, and all of these events really are made possible by local families and businesses that are sponsoring. So really excited to have all these fun activities.
Thank you. Any questions?
I have a question.
Oh, long
Sorry,
question.
I have a question. Where can people find what the different swim nights are? Like the teen swim night, are they just waiting for announcements on Facebook, or is there like a place to find
So what we've been doing is we've been putting it on social media.
Mhm.
A couple reasons why we haven't been doing it like super far in advance is one is that we're also hoping to still sell tickets to, like, so we're not hoping that people will just say, I'm just gonna go to the free nights. But it is through social media. And then another thing that reason why we haven't been posting them far in advance is that we had a sponsor change their date at the very beginning, which caused a chain reaction. But so typically we've been trying to do it on the Monday of each week. So next Monday, you should see the activities for the following week. But if anybody wants to contact us and we're happy to share that. Yeah, there's a, yeah.
All right. Police, I can do that after parks.
Good evening. We just want to remind everyone that we are continuing our traffic enforcement throughout the city. Please be vigilant of pedestrians, construction workers that are out there, people riding electronic bicycles. Just be vigilant as you're driving around the city. We've had a few collisions already in the last couple of weeks. Just please slow down. So we're out there in force and we're doing our best to patrol the residential neighborhoods, to include the detours that have been caused by the construction. So we're out there. So yeah, any questions?
How many of those trailers do we have?
One.
Oh, okay. We might need some more. Great.
Agreed.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I have a question. On the, because I know there has been a couple crosswalk I assume incidents. We have the new crosswalks that are going in. Have those, I don't know if they're all fully in yet, or have they been helping with any of?
I think that's a good question for Dan.
Okay, follow-up question. Sorry.
We've been working hand in hand together to try to reduce some of that and make sure that our crosswalks are getting up and put in place as soon as possible. But Dan's right here.
Yeah, generally our painting occurs as soon as school gets out. So in the next few weeks, we should be seeing crosswalk painting begin. We need to have clean streets, dry streets, and work again, stay down. It's kind of inconvenient. You get them down half the year and then they get covered up or sanded off, drove over. But we are working to get on those and get some new critical ones in, possibly one down by the depot.
All right, I think that means you're up.
Well, 3. Well, that's no new news to anybody, but it's good news. During the power bump we had on July 5, it was a very quick power bump. Normal process for any of our controls is a shutdown, 15-minute pause, and then restart the start of a well. That shutdown is for all the water that is being pumped up the column to be discharged. We have 10-inch column there. That water has to drain back down to the static water level, which is a few hundred feet. So as soon as that pump slows down from power bump, that water slows down, starts draining, and creates a big anchor on the pump and keeps it from turning. In this instance, we still don't really have any real indication of how quick that power bump was, but the water was still in the column, still starting to drain, anchoring the pump when that power tried to turn the pump back on. And that caused a torque, which broke this coupler, which connects the drive rod, the shaft that connects the pump to the motor. Every 10 feet, there's one of these couplers that tie those together. So that torque broke that coupler. We were very fortunate. It was in the top. There's a 4-foot section that comes out of the pump. Then there are 10-foot sections from there on down, clear the bottom of the pump. It split it. It didn't break. We very well could have lost a section of that coupler if it had been bigger than a 50-cent piece. We would have had to pull the whole pump out in order to clear the pump because it could do severe damage to the pump. So a number of great things happened in this event. We still don't quite understand why that power bump did what it did. It should have instigated the shutdown, pause, restart process, but it didn't. The other thing that was really great was our contractor specialty pump service was in town and available to come Monday to look at it, identified the problem. We teamed up with a couple bodies from our water department to help them start the process of disassembly to figure out what the problem was. While I was standing there Tuesday afternoon giving a press interview, I was telling them that we felt that we had the problem identified. We should have the pump back together soon and the whine behind me as the pump starts winding up, kind of ended the interview. So we were down 2 days for the potential. It could have been 3 to 4 weeks if it broke a shaft. We would have had to order that if the damage would have been lower, and we would have had to pull the entire column out. We'd have to pull those, what they're called a spider, that piece in the pipe that keeps the shaft centered. We would have to order all those. So there's pretty significant lag on those parts because people just don't stock them on the shelf. They're not something that every pump uses. Every pump's kind of different size. So anyhow, it was a good, quick repair. Eastern was very cooperative. They opened the intertie, gave us 250 gallons a minute during that process, which helped keep our reservoirs at a safe level during the process. Of course, it was right when the irrigation was ramping up because of warmer temperatures. So we had a lot of potential for dropping our reservoirs down to that 15-foot level where we risk public health and fire safety because we don't have water pressure in order to protect the water system throughout the city. So again, everything fell together. We were lucky this time. Want to thank the administration for helping us move through the public notification very quickly. And also would like to thank the public for doing their best to help conserve water during that period. So, are there any questions?
Any questions? Thank you. All right. At 6:50, no, sorry, just kidding. I have a mayor's report and a council report. We'll start over here. Councilmember LeVar.
I don't have anything. Good. I was just gonna say I had a blast with the parade. It was really nice that as a city, we had some representation. And we were able to get out and interact with the public on such a fun and nice weather sort of day. So that was a lot of fun. And then I just wanted to highlight the generosity of our citizens. Like the swim nights are only made possible because we have local people that are putting into this. Last year, we heard a lot of complaints from people about how cost prohibitive it was for some of our lower income folks to be able to use the pool. So the fact that we had the community step up and fill that need just says a lot about the quality of the people that call Cheney home. So I just really wanted to highlight the generosity of people here. And like the Feed Cheney, like these are all different programs that we have that are community based and are run by the people giving back to the community. So thank you for all you guys do.
Parade was fun. That's it.
Councilmember Long. I forgot to do mine, so I'm going to do mine because I'm sitting here. First, I want to also highlight that we have the ballot measure Prop 1 on the ballot, which you will be getting this week. So please, 1, register to vote. If you were not already registered, please don't forget to vote. Your ballots are due by Tuesday, August 4th. If you have questions about Prop 1, it is our residential street tax levy. It's a renewal and an increase. It currently is 4%. It expires at the end of this year. If it does not pass, that tax will go away. If it does pass, it will increase to 6% and remain for 14 years. At the end of which it will either go away or you'll have an opportunity to renew it potentially. Those funds can only be used for street and sidewalk maintenance and repair and projects. And if you have any other questions, we have some flyers for that and fact sheets on social media and on our website. So that is coming up. With that, Councilmember Long.
So just kind of gave a summary of like the activities from the last, gosh, it feels like it's been a long time since our last meeting.
3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been forever. So we had the conference, which we already talked about. And I have a slide, I'll go into more detail, but right after that, I went into a leadership program for elected officials. So I'll talk about that in a minute. The CMA started doing subcommittees and I got roped into helping on one of those. So went to a meeting like that. And then the Inland Northwest Partners had a summer meeting that was held on campus. I'll talk about that in a second. And then rodeo, obviously, and then Planning Commission was last night. So the training program, so I got accepted into WASCELI, which is the Washington State Collaborative Elected Leader Institute. It's a mouthful. And I get to be on a team. So I'm on a team with Ben Wick, who's on Spokane Valley City Council, and then Summer Darrow, who's on Liberty Lake City Council. And the idea is that we're supposed to come up with some collaborative or a problem that's kind of regional that we can solve collaboratively. We had our first session as a cohort immediately following the conference, so it made it an extra long week, but it was great. Still, I continue to collaborate with everyone who was in town and then our specific cohort. Yeah, so that was really great. Next slide, please. So the Inland Northwest Partners summer meeting. This is a nonprofit organization that focuses on like economic vitality, long-term vitality of Washington and Idaho and our specific region. And they had their meeting just happened to be at Eastern in Cheney, which was convenient. And the whole focus of the meeting was based on the Main Street program. So if you're not familiar with what that is, it's a nationwide program for revitalization for your like small town, like downtowns. And so they have like a structure, recommended structure on how a group can go about doing that, how cities can go about doing it. CMA has laid a lot of groundwork for this already within Cheney. And so it was great that they had a whole day focused on it, and they had cities from across our region in Washington and then Idaho too, because we have statewide implementations of this that kind of help small towns like plug into doing this. So we got to hang out. It was Terry Morning, our planner, went, and then we had Douglas LeBar representing CMA, and then we hung out with people from Commerce and from the Main Street program, folks at the Department of Archaeology and Historic Preservation. Yes. And then the rodeo, obviously it was amazing. It was super fun. I was really happy that we had a city representation, a city car. And then I really enjoyed that we were towards the front, and then the fire trucks were at the end, and the fire trucks, I mean, but can't be the fire trucks. So yeah, I thought it was a great event every year. It's always super fun. So I want to thank everybody for that. And then just to kind of piggyback on the election, the primary election is August 4th, I think, and ballots should be dropping in the mail starting tomorrow. And then they continue to recommend dropping off your ballot in a drop box instead of in the mail. So just because of postmarking delays and a whole bunch of things, so your ballot gets counted. It's very important. Your drop boxes at the Cheney Library. Yeah. Councilmember Bartels.
Something very simple, Public Works Subcommittee this Thursday at 6:30, which is a little typical, but see you there, and Dave will see you there. That's it.
Councilmember Hahn? 6:30 in the morning.
Mhm.
I just wanted to say that I was on vacation last week, and so I was watching the pump issue from afar. And I was happy that I felt confident that it would be fixed quickly and well, as quickly and well as it could. So that was nice. And I was also terrified about what this meeting was going to look like as far as people giving us comments. And so the fact that there's no one here commenting on that tells me that the communication was really excellent. So thank you for people who took the time to think through that and ensure that people had the information they needed to know what was happening. I think that makes a huge, huge difference. Last night, I bopped into the Planning Commission meeting for a minute, for about an hour, because I'm continuing to learn and try to learn about that process. And holy cow, if you know anyone on that commission, please thank them. That is a task. They were going page by page, commenting. It was quite the thing. And that was one chapter that I was here for. So Councilmember Bartels sits on that commission. That is a really heavy lift. So thank you to the people who are committed to that and paying attention to the details that will help our city grow the way that it needs to grow. And then the parks, I always love the parks reports. And the other thing is I wanted to thank the police department. I've recognized from citizen comments some action being taken on Golden Hills. And I think it's really nice when people come and share their concerns, and then you can readily see a response to that. So that's it for me.
Thank you. Councilmember Postuma.
Yeah, just a couple things. I also wanted to say thank you to the light department. I thought they did a great job with the power outage. They were really timely on that and repaired it very quickly. And I thought that was wonderful for our citizens, and was great to hear about well 5. I thought Public Works did just a wonderful job on that, and it was great that we didn't break something major and have a really big challenge there. Cheney Rodeo Parade was great, and it is really great to see our citizens stepping up in so many ways and serving, and I think that makes us into a great culture and a great community, and so I'm excited about that. And have a great summer, everybody.
Thank you. All right, now at 7:08, our meeting is concluded. 7:07. Yeah. Thank you all for coming.